For as long as I can remember, United has provided an unremarkable economy product, but recently they've made a big effort to change that with their new signature interior. Let's see how it compares to the competition, as well as United's older interiors, as we take a brand new United Max 9 from Orlando to Denver. Welcome to Orlando! In my last video, we took the short hop from Fort Lauderdale aboard Silver Airways, Florida's newly bankrupt regional ATR operator. That flight left us in Orlando's Airside 1, which is shared with Spirit and Frontier. This airport has a pretty weird layout. It is split into 3 terminals, A, B, and the brand new C, where most international flights operate, along with JetBlue. Terminals A and B split the central building in 2, but all gates are located in 4 satellite concourses that radiate away from the central building, called airsides. This layout allows the gates to be fairly compact, meaning you are never more than a few minutes walk away from the central food courts and train stations, although it does mean it can get fairly busy. United is located in Airside 3, which it shares with American and Alaska, meaning we will need to connect via tram through the central terminal building. Another big advantage of this airport's layout, the views from the trams are pretty nice. Thankfully, our transfer is pretty easy since the tram stations for Airside 1 and 3 are right next to each other. Something worth noting, however, if we wanted to head over to the other 2 airsides where Delta and Southwest are located, we would need to redo security. But this isn't something that will affect most people.
Next stop, gate 30 through 59.
Trams depart every couple of minutes, but it looks like we don't need to wait at all. It looks like this airside is a lot calmer than 1, which is a nice change of pace. Well, here we are. This is November 17564, a 737 MAX 9 delivered to United in June 2023, just 3 months before this was filmed. This aircraft is just one of hundreds of MAXs and A321neos United has ordered as a part of the Next program, which launched in 2021 and is intended to both modernize their fleet and improve the customer experience. And I do think United has needed this for years now, as they just never really stood out to me over their competition. Keep in mind, I will only be talking about their narrow-body aircraft here, since wide-bodies and regionals are an entirely separate topic. Anyway, as an example, United, American, and Alaska all committed to pretty similar slimline seats with just stream-to-device entertainment, which I'm not a fan of at all. United still does have some ancient, barely functional DirecTV systems though, but those aren't much better than no screen at all. In the meantime, Delta has become the clear industry leader in economy, at least in my mind, as they have managed to keep their fleet standardized with good seats and proper seatback screens. While JetBlue can also have some great in-flight entertainment, I live on the West Coast where they really don't have much of a presence, so I can't judge them fairly. I've only flown them once or twice. United is attempting to change this with its new signature interior, a new modernized cabin that is being retrofitted across their entire narrow-body fleet and will come standard with all newly ordered wide-bodies, which includes our aircraft today. So it's time to go check out the new interior for ourselves. United, like most other airlines, starts boarding with pre-boarding, first class, and status holders, but then for economy, United boards window, then middle, then aisle seat passengers. Of course with basic economy as one group at the end. United is the first US airline to try this system, which some aisle seat passengers dislike, as it can put them at a disadvantage when it comes to overhead bin space. Still, this is nothing compared to basic economy, who don't even get a carry-on at all, one of United's biggest downsides. I decided to pay for priority boarding, which places us in Group 2 so I can get footage of the cabin with fewer people. I don't really recommend anyone else do this normally though, boarding 5 minutes earlier is definitely not worth $24. Well, here we are. United MAX 9s carry a total of 179 passengers. The front of the cabin of course features first class, with 20 recliner seats manufactured by Safran, which are pretty similar to the first class seats you will find on other US airlines. Behind that, you will find 45 Economy Plus seats, United's extra legroom option, identifiable by their black headrests. And above that, the massive overhead bins that are a big feature of the new interiors. The rest of the aircraft contains 114 economy seats. Both the Economy and Economy Plus seats are Collins Aerospace Meridian seats, which are also used by Southwest and JetBlue. And here's our seat today, 27A. These seats come with a fully adjustable headrest, and overhead you will find your standard set of air vents and reading lights. Directly in front of you, you will find the highlight of the seat, a brand new 10-inch screen. It's adjustable and comes with 2 headphone jacks and a USB port. Additionally, each row comes with 2 power outlets in between the seats in front of you. The tray table has a placard advertising the Wi-Fi systems on board, which we'll check out once we're in the air. And the tray table itself does seem a little small, but at least it's adjustable. Below that, there's ample legroom, and your standard seat back pocket with a safety card, but it looks like we're missing a magazine.
We'll be happy to find your new seat. Thank you so much and welcome aboard.
With the door closed, it looks like we have a free middle seat. I went ahead and stole the middle seat's magazine for later. Time to push back and watch the safety video. Sadly, this one has been replaced since this flight was filmed.
This Boeing 737 is equipped with 4 exit doors, 2 on each side of the aircraft. If the doors are open in an emergency, the slides will automatically...
While taxiing, we got a good look at an Aeromexico 737 and a Spirit A321, as well as the new Terminal C with lots of JetBlues, alongside an Aer Lingus and Azul A330. Finally, just before takeoff, I spotted an Emirates 777 parked off at the south end of the airport.
Colorado, the Mile High City. Thank you for choosing to fly with United today. Now sit back and enjoy the friendly service on today's flight, and let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable.
Well, now that we're settled in flight, let's explore what United has to offer. Firstly, I took a look through the seat back pocket. The safety card is in a rough condition, but it's nothing compared to United's credit card ad. United still offers a full in-flight magazine, something many other airlines have ditched, especially after COVID. I always love to look at the route map. Aside from that, there are plenty of stories to read, and the back of the magazine contains a menu for today's flight, which we will look at in more detail shortly. To me, the highlight of the United signature interior is the seatback screen. All economy seats feature a 10-inch HD Panasonic system, while first class gets a larger 13-inch screen. While it still of course supports wired earbuds, and United still provides them for free if you forget yours, the real selling point for most people is the Bluetooth audio capability. While plenty of other airlines are talking about rolling it out in the future, and Delta has tested Bluetooth with their A321neos in first class, United is pretty unique in having actually rolled out Bluetooth on a large scale, which really gives them an advantage, even if it's a work in progress. Anyway, now that we're connected, the most important feature of seatback screens for most people is the movies on offer, and United does not disappoint. I mean, this list simply does not end. The options are also pretty good, and most people should have no problem finding something to watch. Also worth noting here is just how nice and responsive this screen is. The list of TV shows offered is similarly impressive, and if you aren't looking for anything to watch, there's a music and games section, as well as a relax mode. You can also save content to your favorites for longer flights. The in-flight map looks really nice, and it's one of the few I have seen that actually lets you scroll around freely. I'm a little disappointed by the lack of variety in view options though. You will only find a main global view, a time zone view, and a direct top-down view with labels, as well as a fairly slim information screen. Well, these new screens really don't disappoint. They make United feel like a whole new airline. I might even go as far as saying it is the best in-flight entertainment I've come across, and really gives Delta and JetBlue a run for their money, while leaving the other US airlines in the dust. The only real problem is whether you'll actually get this new interior or not, but that's an issue we'll get into once we're back on the ground. In case you aren't a fan of seatback screens, United of course also offers in-flight entertainment on your phone. After watching an ad, you can gain access to a slightly smaller list of movies and TV shows compared to what you might find on the seatback screen, as well as an in-flight map, although that wasn't working for me today. They also offer Wi-Fi, which is just $8 if you have a United account and $10 without. While it may not match the price of the free Wi-Fi on Delta or JetBlue, the price is still fair for the speeds offered, and it is capable of video streaming. We're about an hour into the flight, and it looks like the food and beverage cart is getting close, so it's time to take a look at the menu. United offers a pretty good variety of buy-on-board options on all flights over 1,200 miles, with a separate breakfast menu. On today's flight, I had the option of a cheese and fruit tray for $8, and for $10, either a burger, which feels a little strange on a plane, or pasta. For those that like to drink in flight, you can also find a selection of alcoholic beverages. Keep in mind that menu items and prices can change regularly. Like most, if you aren't intent on buying a meal, you will still receive a free drink and the choice of either a pretzel mix, a Stroop waffle, or this chocolate crisp. And I decided to go for the pasta. It's actually pretty good, at least for something warmed up in a microwave. The chili sauce gives it a nice noticeable flavor, and the portion size is just right. While $10 seems a bit high, when compared to similar options on other airlines, it ends up being pretty good, and in general, I think United has the best buy-on-board options in the US. United is the only one I've really seen with warm meals, well, except for Spirit and Frontier with their cup noodles, and JetBlue and Delta's $14 cheese plates make United's prices look like a steal. I do need to mention though, this is where the small tray table really drags down the experience. It is enough room for everything, but just barely. Finally, United offers a selection of snack boxes. I wasn't planning on having an in-flight meal, so I had already pre-ordered mine, which you can do in your booking from 5 to 1 days before departure, just to make sure to let the flight attendants know as they pass by. I got the recline box, mainly because it was the cheapest of the three, but it ended up being a pretty good add-on to the pasta because it just featured some sweets and snacks, and this popcorn was the highlight for me. Well, I didn't get it this time. My personal recommendation is actually the tapas box, which contains things like olives and hummus. Once again, the only other airlines I can compare this to are Delta and JetBlue, since nobody else offers snack boxes, and their price, variety, and quality are pretty much the same.
With our United Explorer card, you'll get a free check bag, priority boarding, and 25% back on your in-flight purchases.
After the obligatory credit card ad, it looks like it's time to get ready for landing.
And we will be landing soon, so please put away your carry-on items, including laptops. Ensure items stowed under the seat. The front is usually fit completely under the seat, keeping the area around your feet clear. Welcome to Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, where the current time is 6:35 p.m. Please stay comfortably seated until the seatbelt sign is off. Please stand clear of the doors to allow flight attendants to complete important safety duties. Thanks again, folks. Welcome to Denver.
Welcome to Denver, one of my favorite airports for connecting. I have to say I am really impressed with the new cabins. The seatback screens really are one of the best I've ever seen, and the seats, while not exceptionally comfortable, offer plenty of legroom, with the small tray table being the only notable drawback. United's nice variety of meals and snacks can also be a real lifesaver on tight connections where you just don't have time to get a real meal, and the prices are reasonable. This is such an impressive change from United's older interiors, and if all their aircraft were refitted with the signature interior, and I never thought I'd be saying this, I might consider United the best US airline for economy. Basic economy not so much though, no carry-on is brutal. Anyway, the main issue facing United now is the fact that there are still plenty of aircraft with the older interiors. The refits to Signature began in 2021 and were supposed to finish this year, but according to the unaffiliated United Fleet website, only about half their fleet now have the Signature interiors, and if you take out newly delivered aircraft, the numbers are even worse. Still, progress is progress, and they show no signs of slowing down. My next flight will be aboard this MAX 8, which features a sticker celebrating the United Aviate Academy, but I'll be ending this review here. It's already long enough, and the interior is all the same anyway. Just a few rows shorter. And darker. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.